Welcome to Being Change. I am Ellen. Thank you for joining me for today's class, which is all about the hips. So grab yourself a tennis ball if you've got one. Intriguing. And let's get started. So we're going to begin today seated. So just coming onto the sitting bones, bringing the hands down behind you. Feeling a little lift in the chest, so rolling the shoulders down, gentle lift in the chest. Place the feet on the ground, take the knees out about mat width apart, feet and knees out that wide. And then just let the knees slowly fall over to one side and bring the legs back through over to the other side. Okay, so taking slow windshield wiper motions from side to side. Hopefully you've not got a chair next to you like me. So we're just starting to feel into the hips here. You might notice you start to slide down a little bit, exciting. And get a gentle stretch. Then come down to one side and just rest on that side. And you can always bring your bottom leg to just gently rest on top of the top leg there, really mindfully, if you need a deeper stretch. Breathe deeply. And then let's take that to the other side. So just letting the knees go over. Notice how it feels here. So we're not symmetrical at all, especially in the hips. So what felt good on the other side may feel completely funny on this side. So just be gentle. Place that bottom leg on top if it feels appropriate. You can feel this a lot more on this side than on the other side. And then let's bring it all the way back through to center. And then we'll bring ourselves over to all fours here. So coming to our tabletop position, you can always pad the knees if you need to. So from here, God, this bit of hair, there's a note there. Okay, from here, coming into our cat-cows just to get some movement in the spine. So inhaling to drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone, and exhaling to round through the spine. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, cow pose, and exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow, and exhale, cat. Okay, so let's bring it back to tabletop position, and we're going to come into some little hip strengthening here. So this sequence strengthens the hips and helps us find more flexibility, or perhaps more accurately mobility in the hips. So from here, you're going to lift your left leg up to the side. So keeping the left knee bent, place the weight evenly on both hands, and then lift that left knee out to the side. This is what I call dog having a wee on a lamppost, but it's a lazy dog having a wee on a lamppost, because we're not going to do this, right? Okay, so I could get my knee higher, and you probably could as well, by using my pelvis to turn. Whoop, yeah? So we're not going to do that. We're going to take the knee up just as high as it'll go before we feel like we're stuck, because the hip joint is stopping us there. And we're going to stay there, and then we're going to draw a circle around with the knee one way, and then the other way. I'm going to see if the weight can be evenly balanced on both hands. Tendency will be to lean to one side, and breathe. Quite strong, get strong in the core as well. Good. Let's take 3 more. Yeah, you can do it one more. Strong, strong, strong. Good. And lower down. Okay, let's take that on the other side. So again, taking that right knee up to the side. Not doing that, I can get my knee really high, but stopping at the point where we would need to come from the pelvis. So stopping where the hip kind of has its natural range of motion there. And then draw the circle one way, the other way. See if you can evenly balance the weight on both hands. Breathe. Relax the muscles of the face. Let's do 3 more. So this hip sequence is really good for everybody, but especially if you spend a lot of time sitting down, you might really feel the benefits of this. Okay, this is the last one. And then lower the knee down. Okay, good. Let's come off the wrists, just shake them out a bit, maybe find some circles with the wrists. And then we're going to bring it all the way back to our seat. And we're going to shuffle ourselves so we're right at the back of our mat if you are on a mat. 2 ways of walking forwards and back here. Well, one way of walking forwards and back, one way just going forwards. So let's go forwards and back to start with. We're going to extend the legs out long. So we're in Dandasana. Fingertips down by your side. Nice length in the spine. Bring the hands together at heart center. Start to walk yourself forwards without rocking up and down from side to side, yeah? So keep the sit bones on the ground, slide forwards. I once saw someone describing this online as like the shuffle that you do when you're trying to put your trousers on in a tent or something. It's like that. And once you go as far as you can go, shuffle it back. So I've got a sofa stopping my journey forwards at this end. You might be able to go further, so shuffle it back. And you start to feel this probably in the outer hips, yeah? Very good one for strengthening here. All right, and once you've done that, coming back to that shape we took to start with, I'm just going to shuffle myself to the side so I don't hit this chair. But this time taking the hands off the ground. So the knees are bent, feet are on the floor, hands off the ground, palms together at heart center. Start to take the knees to one side, come back through center and over to the other side. So you'll find that without the hands on the ground, we actually start traveling forwards here. Breathe in deeply. See, so now you've got 2 new ways of moving forwards. You can practice this in your living room. Someone wants you to get something, the other side of the room, you say, oh yes, let me just shuffle over. Okay, good. So once you get as far as you can go forwards here, then we'll come and stop this one. You can bring yourself back. So you can't travel backwards with that one, I've tried. Give it a go if you want. Bring yourself back. I'm going to turn around. We're going to do another little strengthening thing here. So we're going to sit with our legs in what we might call 90-90 or mermaid on the rock. I've heard this called before. So this kind of zigzag with the legs, yeah? I've got my left leg in front, so if we all do the same, that'd be easier. So left leg in front, sitting up tall. Now you can use your hands on the ground here if you feel like you need the support, okay? Otherwise you can bring the hands together at heart center. You want to try and keep the torso nice and long as we come and do this, okay? So coming up to your seat, keep the feet active, so kind of flex through the toes. Lift that back knee up, let it hover. This might be enough. You might hold here, lower down, hold and lower, yeah? Quite strong right here. If you want to keep going, we're going to start to bring this foot round and all the way over as if we were going to place it down for a twist, but we don't. And then we come all the way back. Keep the leg lifted for the added challenge, otherwise lower it down in between. You might straighten it out once you get in front and breathe. Okay, so we're just going forwards, yeah. Maybe you're working with the lifting and the lowering. Maybe you're lowering the foot down in between rounds. So work at your appropriate level. Keep breathing. Yeah, good. One more. And place that leg down. Woo! Okay, so before we come to the other side, let's just bring the knees bent again, feet on the floor, hands on the ground, just windshield wiper to one side, then the other. Come back to center and we'll take it to the other side. So the right leg is our front leg now. Sitting up tall, hands together if you want to, otherwise hands on the ground. Lift that back knee. All feels totally different. Start to find that journey forwards. So obviously the torso moves a bit, yeah, but we don't really want to be doing sort of this kind of thing or like leaning really far back or anything too dramatic. So try and keep nice and upright through the spine. Work at your level, so remember you can be lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. Notice how it feels different on this side to the other side. Okay, let's take one more. Okay, good. All right, let's ease that out again. So just coming onto the palms, bend the knees, rock to one side, to the other side. Lovely. Okay, let's bring it all the way over to all fours. We're going to come all the way up to a downward facing dog here. So So tucking the toes under, inhaling to prepare, and exhaling to send the hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling the feet out a little bit here. Connect to your breath. Okay, so from here we're going to inhale, lift our right leg all the way up into the air. So inhaling, lift the right leg up behind you, three-legged dog. And as you exhale, just squeeze that right knee in and step it forwards. You may need to pick that foot up to step forwards into a lunge. We're going to lower the back knee down to start. Maybe taking that back knee a little bit further back. Roll the shoulders down the back body, lift the chest. Connect to your breath here, and then bring the right hand inside of that right foot. Walk the right foot off to the side of the mat a little, turn the toes out, and we're just going to start to draw some slow circles here. So really getting into that right hip in this lizard variation. And circling around the other way. Okay, and then slow that down. Walk that right foot back to center, bring the right hand back around. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee, roll the shoulders down. And we're going to come all the way up into a high lunge. So maybe stepping that back foot a little bit further forwards. Bend the back knee, press into the feet. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Straighten that back leg out if it feels okay for you. Deep breaths here. Okay, so then we're going to turn towards the left. So we're going to come into a warrior two. So I am totally the wrong way around. So stay in your high lunge just a moment. Let me change my direction. So, okay, from your high lunge then, we're going to turn towards the left. So just open that back foot out. Maybe you need to readjust the feet a little bit. Coming into your warrior two. So bending that front knee, taking the arms out wide, press into the outer edge of that back foot. Take the gaze over the front fingertips. Lovely. Okay, from here we're going to come back to that high lunge, so just pivot on that back foot. Maybe step yourself out a little wider, take the arms up. And then as you're ready, bring the hands down to your hips. Step that back foot up a little way, a little bit further forward. Send the weight into the front foot. Press down firmly through that front foot. Inhale. As you exhale, start to hinge at the hips. Lift the back toes up off the ground. Maybe you're here tapping up and down, up and down. Maybe you lift that back leg up a little higher. Toes reach down towards the ground. And maybe you reach the arms out behind you. Warrior three variation. Press down firmly through that front foot. Square the hips. Breathe. Lovely, and then just let yourself drop back into your high lunge. Take the arms up, inhale. And exhale. Bringing it all the way back down to your lunge. You can step that right foot all the way back to join the left, coming into your forward fold here. Coming into your downward facing dog rather here. Deep breaths here. Okay, and then as you're ready, inhale, take that left leg all the way up into the air. Exhale, squeeze the left knee up towards the nose, and then step that left foot all the way up into your lunge. Lower that back knee down, maybe take the back knee a little bit further back, and then start to walk that left leg off, the left foot off to the side, toes turning out. Left hand comes inside of that left foot, and we start to draw those circles with the hip here. Oh, my hip just clicked. Maybe yours do that. Only one of mine tends to do that. Nice slow circles. And then go around the other way. And these circles can be as small or as big as feels right for you. Okay, so walking that left foot back in here. So you're in the lunge. Curl the back toes under, lift the back knee up. And then as you're ready, maybe step that back foot up a little bit further. Bend that back knee. Inhale. Take the arms all the way up. Oop. So we're in our high lunge here. Nice deep breaths. I'm going to turn on my mat again so that I'm facing you for the warrior two. So as we're ready, you're going to inhale, grow tall, and then exhale, open out into warrior two. Perhaps changing the position of your feet a little bit here, so you can press firmly into the outer edge of that back foot. Gaze over the front fingertips. Nice steady breaths. Okay, from here, going to inhale, come back to that high lunge, so just pivot on that back foot. Come up onto the ball of the back foot, rise up, connect to your breath. Then when you're ready, bring the hands to the hips. Step that back foot a little bit further forward, so you're sending the weight into the front foot. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, start to hinge forwards, lift the back toes up. Maybe you're tapping up and down. Or maybe you're experimenting with this warrior three variation. Maybe the fingertips come out behind you, press down firmly through that standing foot. Breathe. Lots to remember. Okay, as you're ready, come back to that high lunge, drop the foot down, inhale. Exhale, bring the arms all the way down, step that left foot back into your downward facing dog. Slow descent of the knees all the way down. Lovely. Okay, so from here, grab your tennis ball if you've got one. If not, don't worry, it's absolutely fine. So grab the tennis ball if you've got one, and we'll come into another little exercise for the hip. Okay, so from here, just turning again to sit on the sit bones. Take your ball if you've got it and place it down beside your left side. Bring the hands down behind you again for support. Take the legs out long. You're going to bring your right foot now to rest on the left thigh. So just below or above, whatever way you look at it, the left knee. And breathe here. So we're doing pigeon variation here, really, with the legs. This might feel enough. Stay really active with that right foot as if you're treading on, like you're pressing into a surface with that foot. And then start to slide that left foot up to the point that feels appropriate for you. So everybody's different. Everybody's going to feel the stretch differently. So breathe. Keep a gentle lift in the chest. And hang out here. So this is a pigeon variation, seated pigeon variation. If you have got the tennis ball, then you're going to bring it right close to your left sit bone and you're going to press into the hands, press into the left foot. Lift your hips up, sit on that ball. A bit weird, I know. And you're going to start to roll around. Now you might feel this quite intensely. If you've not got the tennis ball, you're going to hang out in that seated pigeon and breathe there. Okay. So what we're doing with the ball is starting to relieve some tension in the muscles here, tension around the hips. So doing a bit of myofascial release. And honestly, the first time I did this, it was agony. But I also thought it was really good as well. So I don't know what that says about me. But it's kind of like that thing where you can feel it's a really good release. Keep breathing. And then we'll come off there. And we'll all just slowly slide that left leg out long and uncross that. Just sit up tall in your Dandasana. Take a big breath in. Long breath out. Just notice how the left and the right side feels. And do that on the other side. Ready? So you're going to take a ball, place it on your right hand side. And this time your right leg stays out long. Left leg comes up. Rest on the thigh. Stay active through that left foot the whole time. Start to slide that right knee up to the point that feels appropriate for you. Breathe deeply here. And you can choose to stay here, and if you've not got the ball, you're going to stay right there. And if you've got the ball, start to lift yourself up. Come and sit on there, the right sit bone, and start to have a little roll around. I do this in public classes sometimes, and people's faces, I'm sure you might be pulling some funny faces right now too. So try and relax the face. Keep that left foot active. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Okay, good stuff. All right, come off the ball if you're on it. Pop that to the side. And then slide that right leg out long. Unravel. A little shake out of the legs. Okay, so we've got an option to come into a pigeon shape now. And you might take one of a number of options that we've already done instead, okay? So if you come into this and it's too much in the hip or it's too much in the knee, then you could take what we just did, yeah, so this one here, or you could take that zigzag of the legs there, the 90-90 kind of legs, and turn towards the front leg there, and this is a version of pigeon as well. So you choose what feels best for your body. So if we're gonna try the full pigeon shape, we come to our tabletop position. We're gonna inhale, extend the left leg out. Oh, not got the space. Inhale, extend the left leg out behind you. And then exhale, bend that left knee, start to draw that left knee up behind the left wrist. And you just flick that left foot out, and you do not have to have the left shin parallel to the front, okay? That doesn't suit a lot of people's bodies. It doesn't suit my body. So be really mindful where that left leg goes. And then start to straighten that right leg out behind you. Press into the feet. So just like we did in that standing balance, press into that front foot, the left foot, really mindfully. Press into that right foot, the back foot. Roll the shoulders down, lift the chest. Breathe here. Remember, you can always come to that zigzag, or you can come to the seated pigeon instead. If you want to, you might start to take it forwards into a sleeping pigeon. So letting the arms come down, maybe you stack the forearms, rest the head. Stay active in the feet. And wherever you are, just connect to those really nice deep breaths. Okay. If you're down in the sleeping pigeon, start to lift the head, come up onto the palms, slowly come up. Press into the hands, gently slide that leg all the way back. Find a little circling movement of the hips. And then we'll bring it to the other side. Okay, so straighten that right leg out behind you. Bend that right knee, slide it up behind the right wrist. Don't expect it to be the same on this side, it won't be. Take that left leg out behind you. Really mindful of pressing into the feet. And remember, you can take either of the other options as well. Roll the shoulders down the back body, lift the chest. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Really key. Obviously, to life, but also breathing deeply is really key to enhancing the experience of our yoga shapes that we're making, and also to helping us find maybe that release in the muscles that we're looking for. If you want to, start to bring it down into that sleeping pigeon. Keep pressing firmly through the feet. Any pain in that front knee at all, and you need to adjust, maybe bringing the foot closer in, maybe pressing but more into the foot, or maybe taking one of the other options. Okay. Lift the head if you're down, press the hands into the ground, rise up. Slowly take that right knee back. Little circling with the hips. One way and then the other. Okie doke. So bring yourself all the way down to a seat again as you're ready. We'll just bring the hands down behind us, and as we started, take the feet out wide and windshield wiper the knees from one side to the other side. And this time slowly let yourself come down, so maybe lowering down onto the forearms if that feels okay. Oop. Well, that was the other hip that popped this time. Exciting. And then slowly let yourself just come all the way down. Okay. So bending the knees, place the feet on the floor. Just cross your right leg fully over the left, so as if you were sitting down, cross-legged, on a chair or something. And then from here, you're just going to start to squeeze the knees in towards the chest. So maybe the hands come behind that back thigh, or maybe you can hook the fingers and the thumbs around the big toes and draw the knees into the chest. Let the head and the shoulders relax here. Nice deep breaths. Okay, and then release the grip of the legs or the feet. Slowly lower down, uncross, and then find the cross the other way. As you're ready, draw the knees in. So hands to the backs of the thighs, maybe to the shins, or maybe hooking around the toes. And then relax the head and the shoulders down. Okay, then just release gently, let the legs uncross, place the feet down on the ground. Walk the soles of the feet together, let the knees open out wide. This isn't okay for everybody. If this doesn't feel okay in your body, then just coming to rest with the knees bent or the legs out long. We just take a couple of breaths here in our reclined cobbler's pose. Place the hands on the belly and start to send the breath down into the belly. And then slowly letting the knees come back into center. Straighten one leg out long. And then the other, or keeping the knees bent and placing the feet on the floor. Let the arms rest wherever is comfortable and take your Shavasana. So allowing the body to settle down into the ground. Allowing yourself to absorb the benefits of the practice, of your practice. If you want to take a longer Shavasana now, which is always recommended, then you might pause the video now and then take some time to rest here. And if you're ready to move on, you've got things to get to, then slowly bend one knee, draw the leg up. Slowly bend the other knee. Let yourself roll onto one side. Use your hand on the ground to support you and coming all the way up to a comfortable seat. Coming to close your practice. So ending in whatever comfortable seat feels right for you. Placing the hands together at heart center if you want to, if that feels right. Taking time as always to be grateful to yourself for making this time out to move, to connect to your body, connect to your breath. It's so much more than just working on our hips, right? Yes, we're getting that benefit to our body, the strengthening, and that's really great. But the yoga practice is so much more than that, and maybe you're feeling that, maybe not, maybe you're just feeling an inkling of something, some feeling that feels good and beneficial to you, and hold on to that. And so whatever time of day you're practicing this, I hope you have a good rest of your day. I hope you feel that this practice has supported you in the way that you needed it to. And thank you for being here. If you like to, we'll end with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om being that universal sound that connects us to everything and everyone else, and Shanti meaning peace. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So thank you so much for joining me today for this hips practice. I hope you found it good for your hips and your whole body. So thank you so much for joining me today for this hips practice. If you did like it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, to share the video with your friends and family, anyone you know who might need it or benefit from it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I put new videos out every week on yoga, meditation, holistic health and well-being, and I'd love to have you as a subscriber. And if you want access to exclusive video content, seasonal living content, podcast episodes released early, tons of stuff, then check out my Patreon community. The link is below, and I would love to have you join that community. Thank you for being here.